I don't hear anything.
Do you
Sound like
believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in our amazing universe. And welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, your host. I'm a nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And, I'm just going to ask the audience something. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in your life, or you feel like you're disconnected, or you feel like maybe something happened in your childhood, or you have some limiting beliefs or emotional wounds, and as an adult, they still are haunting you? Well, if that sounds like you, you've come to the right place because we're going to talk about inner child healing, the keys to your authentic self. Too often, many of us have had things had us. And I believe what happens is that part of our soul gets fractured off and is locked in that time and continues to play a repeating loop, like a recording of everything that we captured in that moment, and inclusive of the feelings and where we got stuck. Part of our soul gets time locked in another time and place. And you figure over our lifetime, there's many of those places where we have left a part of our soul behind. This is where the inner aspect of ourself, or the inner child that's within each of us, a part of us gets fractured off, and that little child is living out that reality in another time and place, even as we speak in this moment, because linear time doesn't exist. Everything's happening right here, right now, even though by the standards of time and what we have, I want to say, been into believing that time as a reality of past, present, future is being linear, it doesn't occur. But that's not the truth, because time is collapsed on itself. So past, present, and future are happening simultaneously. So, let's talk a little bit about the inner child, and understanding what he or she is all about. It's probably part of us that holds memories, emotions, and experiences from our earlier life. And they could be both positive and negative, and they influence who we are today. They influence our beliefs, our behaviors, and our self perception of who we are as an adult. When we are unaware that this is happening, or that child is unhealed and I call time locked or landlocked in another time and place, um, some of the behaviors of an unhealed inner child may be that maybe you're a self saboteur, or you fear rejection or abandonment, or maybe you even have difficulty setting boundaries. And maybe you might even not feel worthy or good enough in your life. I feel what is important, and I was really resistant to this, a long time ago when somebody mentioned this, oh, it's an inner child thing. And I'm like, I was so in resistant that I didn't even want to go there and take a look at that, because for me, it was like I wanted, that poor inner child got locked away so badly that I really didn't want to open the door and let her out. So that to me was an indicator that maybe I need to take a step and lean into that direction. And I'm really glad I did. What I have found personally for myself is that when you're able to reconnect with those aspects of yourself that have been forgotten in another time and place, you're able to call them back, love, appreciate, and accept those pieces just as they are for what they were without judging or criticizing them and trying to keep them at bay because they're still going to be there. And sometimes that inner child that you put off for so long is sitting there in defiant mode with her arms crossed saying, "What took you so bloody long to get back here? I've been waiting for you forever." I mean, that's kind of funny in one aspect, but it's the truth. And, continuing on with that, it's like once you're able to reintegrate those aspects of yourself, you actually gain a lot more clarity because you're not being pulled in so many different dimensions and places where it sucks your energy on an unconscious level. I want to say unconscious because you're not aware that this is what the game is and what is happening when it's unconscious. And when you're able to embrace this and reintegrate those lost parts of yourself, you gain a lot more clarity. You become more fully present in the present moment. You actually become more creative and you're actually you're bringing more joy back into who you are. And those are all just really wonderful things to have happen because don't we all want to have more clarity and, to be more fully present and less distracted? And just really be present with not only yourself but with anybody else that you come in contact with. Your overall essence will change and shift so that you'll be more complete and whole within yourself as you recapture some of those lost parts of yourself that have been you know landlocked, if you want to call it, in another place or time. So when you're able to, some of the power of healing the inner child are, I think there's a lot of things that it benefits. It can bring emotional healing, joy, and self-acceptance. Um, it could enhance your relationships, especially the relationship you have with yourself. But also, it's going to allow you to set better boundaries and also take better care of who you are at a very deep level. Because let's face it, many of us probably were not cared for the way that we would expect we'd want to be cared for as a child. And that's not because we were bad or anything. It's just because of the circumstances that we probably were in. And, remember too, your parents learned from your grandparents and their grandparents learned from your great grandparents. So it's like things got passed down generationally. It doesn't mean that it was the right thing to do, but there was no other reference point for people, and they just carried on programming that they knew from their ancestors. So it's really about changing it all up right now, healing those ancestral wounds and lineages, and also healing your inner child as part of that. What I love about inner child work, when we are able to reconnect with that lost part of ourselves and reintegrate that into ourselves, we are able to create more possibility. And what I love too is that when I do inner child work, and if you guys have pets, I invite you to pay attention to this as well. Your animals will teach you an abundance of stuff. I recall on two separate instances when I was doing inner child work for myself. I have a cat named Gracie. She would come on my lap, curl up, and kind of go into her little state. And it was really interesting because I could see her as I was working on my inner child stuff. She was actually working on her inner kitten issues. So between Gracie and myself and Gracie's inner kitten and my inner child, we were all processing together, which was really cool. And my inner child was playing with Gracie's inner kitten, which was cool as well. So your animals, believe it or not, they've had woundings and um, different experiences, especially if you've adopted them as an adult. You don't know what had happened prior to their life, prior to coming into your life. And maybe it's an opportunity for them to heal some things that they experience, because they all experience things. And I know some people out there might feel that that's a stretch, but animals have emotions and they have feelings. And if you ever have any doubt about that, you've never had a pet. So, anyway, moving on, let's talk about practical steps for healing your inner child. A lot of it is awareness and acknowledgement. And we talk a lot about awareness and mindfulness here on my show because I think that's an essential foundational piece for really being comfortable with who you are, but also having a connection with who you are. Awareness is everything, and we have to understand, yes, things happen to us. And when we're able to see how they've impacted our present life, we can always choose something different and go back and heal things, because when we are in the present moment, past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously. So what we do in this current moment has the capability of healing the past and also creating and healing the future as well. And when we also do healing work on ourselves and healing our inner child woundings, that healing also tips into the generational and ancestral clearings that are necessary as well. When we are able to work on healing ourselves and reconnecting and reintegrating our inner child and doing inner child work, we can heal up to 7 generations in the past and moving forward 7 generations in the future. That's a big stinking deal, people. I mean, really, it's just like if you understand the ripple effect of how things happen, that's a lot of generations, and your past ancestors are going to be grateful, but your future ancestors will be as well. So, self compassion is key as well. I believe we're coming to a time where self compassion is going to be more the norm than not. Self compassion is being able to be with who you are without judging or criticizing anything that has happened to you. Self compassion is about allowing yourself to rise above the judging and criticism, to raise your frequency so you could create something completely different for yourself. And remember what we were saying, it's going to ripple out into the past, but also into the future, because it's all happening simultaneously, not only in this lifetime, but in other lifetimes as well. You're going to have an emotional release and be able to express yourself more readily and just be more comfortable with that. And then you're also going to experience the joyful things and learn how to be more playful and expressive, and really know that you're going to be there for that inner person, that inner child that is always with you. Then you're going to have their back, even though you may not have had, nobody had your back when you were younger. So with all that in mind, it's just important to really know that your inner child is the part of you that holds the emotions, memories, and experiences from your childhood. And it represents the original self before life's conditionings, wounds, and societal expectations have taken over. And this part carries you with you both the joyful innocence and unresolved emotional pain that maybe you've experienced in your life. So, we're going to get ready to go on our first break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And we're talking about inner child healing today on our show. And when we come back, we'll teach you how you could connect with your inner child. So stay tuned and see you after our break.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we are talking about inner child healing today, the keys to your authentic self. And before break, we were talking about what the inner child is and how that concept kind of has evolved. It's actually your inner child is an aspect of yourself that when something happens in your life, maybe you've had trauma or, joy or whatever, part of your soul kind of gets fractured off and landlocked in another time and place. And a lot of this is all happening unconsciously, and it's running our show basically. And when you're able to reconnect with those fractured off parts of who you are and reintegrate them within yourself, you become more complete, whole, and at peace within yourself. Now, we talk a lot about awareness and compassion here on my show. I just feel that that's what we're all about, humanity, and it's a lost art, and it's about reconnecting with ourselves. And those are some of the things of how we can reconnect with ourselves. And the inner child, connecting that with in ourselves too, is a helpful thing as well. When we get triggered in life, sometimes we are, your trigger is never what you really think it is, okay? Oh, that person's doing something to me. No, they're just matching something energetically that is within you. And when you're able to see this and experience this from the perspective that, I'm being triggered. And why is that so? It allows you to go deeper within yourself, and it like opens a doorway for you to connect with what you're feeling. Okay. So, maybe you're angered by something and normally you would ignore that anger. I invite you just to lean into it and just feel what that anger is. Does it have a sensation? Maybe you feel it in a certain part of your body. And, say for example, you feel it in your stomach, your solar plexus. So I just invite you to just go to your solar plexus where you're feeling that and just flood that area with so much love, compassion, and acceptance, because this is actually your fractured part of your inner child, and your inner child that's acting up and wanting to get your attention. And that inner child is probably sitting there. You could probably sense her, feel her, or even see her, if you close your eyes and just pay attention to what she's doing or where she's at, and just telepathically communicate with her saying, I'm so sorry. I'm here now. What do you need from me? And just listen to what she may reveal. She may say, I've been waiting a long time for you. Where have you been? And just continue to give her love and appreciation and acceptance, and maybe even reach out your hands to her and invite her to come and touch your hands. She may do that. Just ask her, can I hold you? Can I just touch you? And she may say yes, she may say no. So just follow her leads, but just continue to send a lot of, I call it pink unconditional love. Just send pink light and love to her and flood her with that, because she might be angry and pissed off because, you left her there by herself. And, and it's not to judge or criticize you. It's you as the adult can see the bigger picture of what had been happening. Maybe she was mistreated and she felt like she was alienated because maybe that's what happened to you at that time when this occurred. But you being, much wiser as time has evolved, you're able to embrace her and also hold the space for her to know that she is safe and secure in this moment. Oftentimes, he or she will come back to you and want to be hugged. And so just, symbolically hug her and bring her close to your heart so you're able to reintegrate her into you. When we get triggered and you feel that somatic response, flood that area with a lot of love, self-compassion, and reparent the situation as if you were the parent who was doing the correct thing and meeting her needs. Oftentimes we were in situations where our needs were not being met, and that's where we felt like we were detached and separate and stuck in another time and place. When we start flooding those areas with a lot of self-compassion, love, appreciation, and acceptance, we're nurturing that inner child and we're bringing her closer, he or she closer to you, so you're able to reintegrate that lost part, which is her or he that fractured off in another time and place, and you're able to bring it closer and reintegrate it into your heart. What you may notice after you do that, you actually feel more complete and whole and even more grounded and more present in the moment, because an aspect of yourself that has been trapped in another time and place has reintegrated with you. So you are getting your pieces back. Okay. I know that's a very simple demonstration of what inner child work can be. And it is so much more simpler than a lot of us make it out to be. Sometimes we feel like it's too complicated. I don't have time to do that. Those are just excuses sometimes that we feed ourselves because we want to stay stuck. So I invite you just allow yourself to witness. It's not about reliving the whole thing, and it's an exercise. The more you do it, the more you're going to get comfortable with it. Okay. And many of us have a flock of inner children that have been fragmented off in different times and places at various times in your life. Yes, some of it could have happened when we were in utero, all the way up to, adult life. These are like situations where something just affected us so deeply that part of us just, got landlocked in that time. So, especially if you're thinking about patterns and you look back on our patterns, if you have a repeating thing that keeps happening for you, or you go back to another time and place where you're rehashing something that happened, that could be a key that there's some inner child work that needs to be done. And it's not a bad thing, a good thing, it's just what it is. So I invite you to embrace that without going down the rabbit hole of judging and criticizing anything. It's what it is. Rephrasing in another way, look at this as an opportunity for you to gather some wisdom that you have within yourself. Also, to better establish a better relationship with yourself. And, also give yourself the kindness that you would have wanted to hear as a little child. Offer yourself the love, the encouragement, and validation that you may have lacked growing up. Okay. And I just want to remind yourself that, when you do this work, and even now, today, in this moment, that you are safe, you are loved, and you are more than enough. You are plenty. What's really important too to remember, it's like you could go and do meditation and visualization. And we're going to do this on the third segment of our show today. We're going to do a guided meditation, and where you're going to be able to, have a connection and a meeting with your younger self in a safe and loving space. And, this is where you can actually change the script of things, where the conditioning that maybe had happened at that time and place, we can rewrite that and create something completely different. It's not about reliving the pain and, continuing to live in that. It's about rising, healing it so you're able to rise above it and witness and observe the lessons that were learned at that time, or the opportunities for lessons. And it's about, emotionally releasing things and allowing them just to move from unconsciousness to consciousness. Okay, so now we have the awareness. And once it's conscious, this is how you're able to allow it to dissipate, dissolve, and heal, and to move forward. So, connecting with your inner child is not a one and done. Okay. It's, it's an ongoing journey. It's about allowing yourself the gift and grace of being healed and nurtured as you would want to be healed and nurtured. And it also helps you to unlock deeper self-awareness, emotional freedom, and to enhance your authenticity. When you listen to and care for your inner child, you create a more joyful and fulfilling life. So let's break for our next commercial. And you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we return, let's kind of put this together into an experience for you. See you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about inner child healing today on our show. And, this is something that it's been buzzing around for a while, but I think it's so important now because when you're able to heal those little fragments of ourself that have been landlocked in another time and place, this just allows you to become more complete and whole and genuine and authentic in your essence and presence wherever you go. And, before our break, we were talking about, what inner child healing is. And, sometimes those triggers that we get, these are opportunities because underneath all of that is probably an inner child aspect that is crying to be healed. And when we're able to give ourselves the gift of healing your inner child, I believe, and I know from my own personal experience, that you become more complete and whole within yourself, and you're able to give from a much fuller cup because all your parts are getting reintegrated. So you're right here, right now, and not scattered all over the place in another time and place. All right. So, as promised, we're going to do an inner child healing meditation. So, this is about a 6 to 7 minute meditation. So, I just invite you to participate. And if you can't do this now, I invite you to go back and listen to this at a time where you can devote the time where you're not going to be distracted. I always believe that doing an exercise or a meditation is a great way for people to have an experiential process so they could kind of make it their own and have a taste of what it feels like to have that experience. So I love doing meditations on my show for that particular reason. All right, so we are going to start our meditation. So I just invite you to find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed. You could either sit or lie down in a relaxed position. And I invite you to gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. And take another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, allow your body to soften and relax. Let go of any tension in your shoulders, jaw, and hands. Now, bring your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a warm golden light glowing there. This is the light of love and healing. As you rest in this light, imagine yourself walking down a peaceful path. You're surrounded by air that is warm and the breeze is gentle. And ahead, you see a safe and loving space. Perhaps it may be a garden, a childhood home, or a cozy sanctuary. As you step inside, you notice a small child sitting there. This is you at a younger age. Just look at them. What are they wearing? How old do they appear? What's the expression on their face? Slowly walk towards your inner child with kindness and warmth. When you feel ready, sit down beside them. Let them know you are here and they are safe. Gently ask, what do you need from me today? Listen with an open heart. Allow any emotions, words, or sensations to arise. You may hear a response, feel a deep emotion, or simply sense a connection forming. If your inner child is sad, just reassure them. I see you. I love you. You are safe with me. If they seem happy, celebrate that joy together. Now, imagine wrapping your inner child in a warm embrace. Feel love, compassion, and acceptance flowing between you. If there is any pain or sadness, imagine a golden light surrounding both of you, dissolving old wounds and replacing them with peace. You might say, you are worthy, you are loved, you are enough just as you are. I will always be here for you. Thank you for waiting for me and being patient. Feel this connection deepening as you reintegrate this part of yourself into your heart. When you feel ready, gently take your inner child's hand and walk together towards the present moment. As you return, know that they are always with you, safe, loved, and cherished. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing awareness back to your body. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back, everybody. How was that for you? What did you learn? What did you experience? Just know that you have taken a powerful step in healing and reconnecting with your authentic self. And just enjoy the quiet, peaceful, serene surroundings that you are in right now. And as we go off to our next break, I just invite you to just be fully present with this experience and make note how you're feeling. You've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're talking about inner child healing today. And when we come back, we'll wrap it up. Stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And, in our infomercials, you probably heard a little bit about our community called I'm Awake Now What? And it is a transformative weekly gathering, and it is designed by myself and another expert, Cozy Stankadis, who we decided that many people are awake to move through their awakening process with a lot more grace and ease. So we kind of put this together. And so if you're ever feeling like you're stuck, confused, or alone on your path to self-discovery, I'm Awake Now What is for you. Whether you're just beginning your journey or have been on this path for years, this community offers valuable support, healing, transformation, and, of course, community. So just join our movement. Awakening is something you have to not do alone, and just be part of our growing community that sees, supports, and uplifts you. You could find out more information about I'm Awake Now What. Just go to my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and look for the little tab that says I'm Awake Now What, and we would love to have you. So anyway, let's just recap about our episode today. We've been talking about inner child healing on our show, and what's really important right now is that it's about getting all aspects of ourself back to self, so we become complete and whole and become our most authentic and beautiful version of ourselves. So one thing to remember, your inner child holds the key to your emotional patterns. So very true. The beliefs and wounds from childhood shape your adult experiences, often in unconscious ways. Healing your inner child allows you to break free from limiting patterns. Acknowledgement is the first step to healing. When you recognize and validate your inner child's emotions, whether they are fear, sadness, or even joy, is the foundation of inner healing. All emotions, not just the ones we label as pleasant, but the ones that we have a tendency to label as not so pleasant. When we reparent ourselves, we offer ourselves love, encouragement, and validation that you may not have received as a child. And this helps to rebuild your confidence and self-worth. When we play, have creativity and joy, these are powerful tools. When we engage in activities you loved as a child, such as drawing, dancing, or storytelling, perhaps you reconnect with your authentic self. Do you remember those times where you were doing that and maybe something happened and you no longer did that? That's something to explore. Remember, you are not broken. You are healing. Inner child healing is an ongoing journey, and every step you take towards self-compassion and self-acceptance is a step towards true emotional freedom. And most importantly, remember your fur and feather companions too. They also have a tendency to want to go through inner kitten, inner puppy, inner birdie, whatever you want to call it. They also have experiences too that affect them emotionally. So healing their inner children, those smaller aspects of themselves, is essential as well to allow them to be complete and whole and on their journey. So some closing thoughts. Healing your inner child is not about dwelling on the past. Okay? It's about reclaiming your power in the present. By nurturing and integrating this part of yourself, you step into a more authentic, joyful, and fulfilling life. Every moment of self-love and kindness strengthens the connection between who you are and who you are becoming. You are worthy. You are loved. You are enough. In fact, you're more than enough. You are plenty. So I'm going to leave you with this quote by Tom Robbins, and it says, "It is never too late to have a happy childhood." Amen to that. And with that in mind, make every day joy-filled. So next week on our show, we're going to be talking about the art of self-soothing. Okay. And I'll just read you a little bit about that. In a world filled with stress and uncertainty, mastering the art of self-soothing is an essential component for emotional resilience. And resilience is something we could all use more of. Whether you're navigating personal challenges or simply seeking inner peace, learning to regulate your emotions can be a game changer. Join us next week as we explore powerful, self-soothing techniques that calm the nervous system, restore balance, and strengthen your ability to bounce back from adversity. Discover how mindfulness and energy healing can help you shift from overwhelm to empowerment. So stay tuned next week, and I invite you to like our show and leave comments. Is there anything that you want to hear or anything you want to learn more about? Reach out to us, and I would be glad to integrate that in future shows as well. So just remember, when you are being triggered, it's never what you think it is. I invite you to take a deeper dive within yourself and observe what is happening and embrace those lost parts of yourself so that you can become complete, whole, and your true, authentic self. So stay tuned next week. And you've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we will see you next week, the same time, same place, same format. So just know you are worth it, and I love you. So take care. Signing off. See you next week. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, Remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.